Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. This is the second video of the recap series when I'm trying to give you some ideas and some, analysis of my own games in Olympiad. As you know, the event has been over for like 2 weeks, and most of the games I think you guys have seen it clearly. But I still want to review all the games, not just like a good content for my channel, but also I think you should be interested in knowing the detail and also knowing what will happen inside the playing hall, right? So let's try and get through the thing right away. And once again, I think you can see the Olympiad medals in the back, isn't it? Okay, so let's go. So this is draw 4. And for me, this one should be, I think, one of my favorite game in the whole event. So after winning both first 3 rounds against Team Lithuania and Liechtenstein, against Team Bangladesh, and against Team Kazakhstan, so it is round 4, and we met Team Uzbekistan, who was the Olympiad winners in 2022. So this was kind of a revenge match, because in 2023 in the Asian Games we lost to Uzbekistan like 1-3 in our encounter. This year there was a slight change in the team setup, when in the team Uzbekistan they got, I think, like in 2023 I played Yakubev in board 3 and Sindarov was board 2, but this year Sindarov was board 3 and Yakubev was board 2, which is gonna change, right? So let's go to the game and see what happens here as well too. I was white, so I play 1d4. So against Sindarov, when I prepared, I knew that he mostly play the King's Indian or the semi-slab with black. So I was not so prepared for playing the other things. In the game, he played 1e6. I must say that I was a little shocked when I saw this. It's like, okay, so it is a clear sign that he would not go for the King's Indian anymore, right? But he could still go for the semi-slab. For instance, like c4 here, here, and here, right? It is still semi-slab. So in the game, I play an f3. Just pretend he will play semi-slab. But then he play c5, which apparently got me out of my preparation. So this thing, I wouldn't say it is a super rare variation, but it's definitely a playable stuff. So here, if you play e4, it can transpose back to Sicilian, right? And it's like, as you know, or like here, like Tamanov, or all the other things. In the game, apparently I didn't want to go for the Sicilian because I know some ideas in that line, but I didn't play that thing on the board indeed, so it was such a risk, right? So in the game, I spent a few minutes on this move and I play g3. What happened here was that not only I wanted to get a solid position, but also I wanted to get him out of his purpose spot too. I wanted to get something kind of unknown territory, but at the very least, if I was not prepared, I wouldn't want him to be prepared as well, right? So in the game, here he also was shocked. As a result, he spent, you can see here, 50 minutes on this move. Obviously, it is, I think, still quite a common opening knowledge, but I think here, because he was out of preparation, he also spent time to decide which line I want to go to. I was on the thought he try and play the main line, d5, g2, d6, Casos, and f6, and then c4. We got the game back to the Catalan. Take the pawn, indeed, which is the main line. So here, white has many ways to play. Knight a3 is available. Knight e5 is available. Queen a4 is available, you know. But then in the game, I wanted to get a safe position. Want to get a thing that might give me a chance to push slowly without taking much risk. And I think that is a good strategy to play in a team event. I went DC5, which is known to be somewhat, I wouldn't say a rare lie, but it is a lie that is considered to be not that dangerous for Black nowadays if he knows what's going on. But in the game, I can tell you that both of us didn't know what's going on here. So he takes queen e1, d1, c5, maybe d2, the main line, c3, take here, castles, all normal stuff. Knight b3, 3-7, and c4. The fun thing is that this is still the opening mainline territory. But c4 is my last move that I can remember. I was like, okay, so it should be c4 if I was not mistaken. But then I was not so sure. So I spent some time to check things on my brain, and after some thought, I was like, okay, let's play c4. And here bishop d7. You can see that he starts pressing down as well, right? But the fun thing here is that it is at this point that I think both of us, we have no idea what's going on in the book opening. So in the game here, I spent quite a long time to find a plan for me. The position here I think is slightly better for me, because I have a strong bishop here on g2 and the pressure on the d file. For Black, he is quite solid. He has no real weaknesses, but solid sometimes mean passive, and Black pieces are somewhat cramped. In the game, bishop b2, rook d8, and knight d4. So I open up the diagonal and trying to just put some pressure on his pieces. So the fun thing here is that after the game, my teammate, like the first board and my second board, they came to me. Limley and Tronson, they came to me, and I was like, why did you guys think for so long? It is the main line opening. I was like, I knew it, but I was not prepared. I don't even know. And I think it is quite clear in the game. Sindarov is also in the same situation. Group c8, b5. Here, so I will show you right away here. So okay, here it is. So it is still the main line. You see, right? Still 107 games. White wins most of them. Actually, it is a draw, which is like most likely outcome. And White wins with a big margin, and Black wins like maybe, I think it should be 16%. No, 6%. My bad. I'm so sorry. So here you can see, right? Milas b6, bishop here is unavailable, and still see some strong players here playing like Alireza Firouzja, so Wesley, Anish. See, right? I mean, here as well too. Some strong players here playing this, but somehow in the game, both me and Sindarov, we had no idea what's going on, which is what happened here in this position. So here he spent a long time, a whopping 25 minutes in this move. e5. No, I think he spent like nearly 30 minutes in this move, which the engine indicated it was wrong. Okay, so here you can see here, so at the beginning with b5 it was around like 0.2, but e5 get things to 0.5, which is a slight improvement for me, but in the meantime it's also easy, and you can see the engine now start to evaluate this one as not as big as I thought. So in the game I just play some random stuff with c1, but this one also cost me 20 minutes. I want to decide what I should do, and decide like the plan as well too. c5 looks fair, but then I see bishop g4 for instance. This one also looks good as well too, but here and here, right? And this pawn here can become a weakness. So before going for the 96, I want to play rook c1 first. You get this pawn undercovered. Now yet, just a good move here that he covered d6. h4. A neutral move, not just like try and cover bishop g5 here at some point, but also I can get some flush from king later on. So it is already moved 17. It is almost 17. But you can see the time here, we both went down on time, right? You will see it very soon that we will start to play on increment and the game will start to become a blitz game. Obviously, we will have some more time on the clock. After move 40, we get like extra 30 minutes, right? But now it's move 17 only, so still 23 moves left until the time control. So, in the game, he play f6, defend a pawn, and gets king out as well too. Knight c3, root my knight, and put my knight bishop on knight to d5. In the game at this point, I must say that I feel pretty confident in my chance. I have much more time on the clock. I can try and put some pressure on him, and I can try to flag him probably. But after bishop g4, take the pawn, and king f1 defend the pawn as well too. He play here and here. I think twice about my evaluation. Black has no real weakness, and somehow I don't know what I can do here as well too. The square looks strong, but if I can go that square and I can do nothing in the square, it basically means not that much, right? So in the game, I decided to go for some activities, some I think good ideas as well too. Knight d5, get knight to strong square first, sure fit, fair enough, and drop c1, which I think is a good move. Somehow now, so I realized like this pawn here now can become a witness later on, right? Can play here for instance, this pawn here will become witness. So before trying to play like c5 for instance, or expand on the queen side, the rook here should defend the pawn on c4. c1 was playing the game. Here, the engine indicates that the best way to play for black is knight to b8. Knight b8. Which is not that an easy maneuver to find in time scrambles. The idea is simple, he played knight to a6 and put knight to c5. After this, I think I will need to be very careful. I'm looking for some equality. I can play f4, which is like the same idea with what I played in the game, but I can play here, cover the pawn, and I don't know, I'm not so sure if I have more than equality here. Maybe I can get routed in the long term, but who knows, he's so down on time. I'm down on time either. So in the game, h7. This one I think it is not a good move here by him because he missed my ideas. f4. This one now becomes somewhat annoying. First of all, if you play here, they put the knight, you know, and suddenly he needs to be very careful because this one here, his king will get very vulnerable, right? King can't go back here anymore. Second, the bishop here needs to cover the diagonal, but if he trade it away, I'll have a strong bishop pair, and I think I can be able to exert some strong pressure on his pieces, right? Third, somehow if I can take here for instance, this pawn can become a weakness, and I can even dream of playing f5, you know, save some more space in the king side. After f4, I feel like I managed to put some pressure on him. In the game, b6. A good move. He trying to cover the pawn here in the future, but obviously a slight drawback is that this knight here can become hanging. Knight in the game. So the engine didn't like, but for me I like this move because I want to play f5, you know, put some pressure on his pieces. In the game he took an f4, f4. So here I believe like in the game I don't think like I'm doing okay because this pawn can push here, and somehow bishop is open as well too. It is equal with the engine, but as it's down time, I believe firmly that it is easy to play for white. Before keep up with the game, because the game is gonna end very soon, I will talk about some other board assets. Whoops, I'm very sorry for that. If you guys are wearing headphone, I'm so sorry. That is super unintentional. So at this point, all other boards are very tense. The first board, Lemley and Satorov. Lemley is pushing, but if I remember correctly, he was never having a clear chance to push. In board 2, Yakubev and Trongsan. Yakubev trying to push, but Trongsan slowly, I think, like deal with his attack pretty well, and he obtained also a pretty good play. That was board 3. And in board 4, between Javokhir Jahangir against Mingtran, I think he was able to hold his own pretty well. So at this point, I felt pretty confident because all my teammates were doing good. So, play knight 7 here, defend f5, knight d4, put pressure on bishops. d7, fair enough. At this point, so I must say that I just see his threats like knight here and active spaces. So play bishop a3, which I think is a good choice, but I should play king f2 first. Here he may think about knight here, you know, and attack this pawn, so king f2 first, and defend this thing here. I think makes more sense. But in the game, I got somewhat hesitate. Bishop a3, a7, and here I play a wrong move. Rook d1, it is wrong, I would say, because here black can play a very annoying move, knight g6. Why? Because these two pawns here are under attack, and I have no way to defend both. Earlier I can play this, but now this is covered by the knight, right? By the knight. So bishop d5 is unavailable. If I play here, f1, h4, and I'm now a pawn. I think engines to give me equality after this, but once again, I think it is very unclear in my opinion, because he still has some nice activities here, and I'm now a pawn, right? So it doesn't look so clear in my opinion. So, but then I need to fight this idea in order to remain equal. But in the game, he was down in time. He played this move pretty quickly, which is, I think, a terrible mistake. a4? Question mark. He saw that I want to put pressure on the d file, so he ran away with tempo, which seems to be somewhat understandable at first sight, right? But with rook d3, which is what I play, the main trouble now starts to be short. If I can get the bishop away, I can play here myself. For instance, if I play here, knight 6, right? Which is the thing we know earlier. I can just play this, for instance, and rook a3. When things become very annoying, right? I will show you a sample line. e8, rook a7, knight f4 here is required. Play here, just play this, and now the forks is at the game on the spot, right? So rook d3 here is good for me. Also, it had a hidden idea that you will see very, very soon. In the game, g6 he played, which covered f5. So at this point, I immediately saw f5, which can save some space in the king side, right? But suddenly I saw some annoying threats, and I saw a small trick that I think it is easy to fund for in fast time control. So I went for that right away. Bishop d6. Guess what? So with this move, I create some threats. First of all, rook e3, as you know, right? Second, bishop b7. Cover bishop and the knight. So bishop b7 seems to win material, right? So here, when I play this move, I already believe he may play knight to e8, which will walk right into my threat. Here, the best way to play is bishop d7. When this move here doesn't work in that much. Bishop d5 here doesn't work because you can take here, and you see, right? The bishop is hanging on d5. On d6, I mean, if you play like return to here and here, I will still need to work hard to find a way to obtain an edge, which I don't think is simple enough. So in the game, he went down in time and he played knight e8 right away. You know, you can see here he got 34 seconds on the clock. At this point, his time just run down to 4 seconds. But this one, he walked into my threats. Bishop e7 to the knight right away. It feels illogical to trade a strong bishop against a bad knight, right? But I have an idea. Here, the best way to play, surprisingly, is king e7, allow rook a3. But somehow down a pawn here is the best thing he can do. Play here, here, and here. For instance, c4, we got to another fork, isn't it? Which once again win me material. But if he doesn't do that, somehow he is very tied up. This pawn is under attack. c5 and b3 is simple for me. And not only I'm just up a pawn, but I have much more better pieces, right? So here, this one is not fun, but sadly it's his best chance to stay in the game. But he played bishop e7 here, take back with the bishop. And when I saw this, I felt like a sad relief. I remember I was like, whew, right in the board. It was like, you know, I saw the tricks, so I was so proud to find other ideas. So bishop d5 checks. If you play king to f8, I can play here, and then I can win the bishop with this cover check. So play king g7, then I got knight f5, which the engine indicates that it is a brilliancy. Somehow the thing here is here, right? It's a brilliancy. Because if we take here on f5, I go to g3. So king here, mates, king here, mates, king here, also mates, but one move longer. Or here if you want to. So if you play king f8, I can just play knight a6. King g8 allow me to take the bishop here with fork, right? And king f7 allow me to go for a stunning mate with two knights, when both these squares are covered by my pair of knight, isn't it? Which certainly is very cool. So here in the game he resigned, and I was the first board to win for my team. Ultimately, my team managed to win at the end. You can see the result right here as well, when my team beat team Uzbekistan by 3-1. When Trongsan and me, we managed to beat our opponents respectively. So for me, this one is one of the most important win and crucial win and favorite game of the event, because Sindarov is a former 20 players, and he right now he is like my highest level, highest rated player I've ever been able to beat. Second, with this win, I'm able to have my team get a win against Team Uzbekistan, and then we have a revenge. Third, and the final one, as you know, so the Team Uzbekistan is captained by Kramek, and I hope that, you know, I don't know, like for me, I was always somewhat worried when, you know, he said I'm a cheater, you know, or something like that. But by playing like this, I just want to show him and the world how good I can play chess, and I can be capable of, you know, I am capable of playing in the highest level. So hopefully you enjoyed the video, and hopefully you enjoy my commentary. If you have any questions or you want to have something to interact, feel free to get to me. Thank you for asking, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next videos. Peace.